Sex Party with your host, Dustin Rybka.
Hello and welcome to Sex Party. I'm your host, Dustin Rybka. With me on the show this week is adult star, OnlyFans creator, Lissa Aires. She is someone who has been in the game, the sex work game, for a while. She is just now entering the mainstream porn universe, and she's making a splash already, working with some major companies. We're going to talk about her time in London doing televised phone sex. We're going to talk about her time in the strip club in London, the strip club in New York, and the strip clubs in Miami. There are, of course, as you know, some of my favorite things to talk about are the wild strip club stories. She has a wild strip club story. It does not disappoint. We're going to talk about her working with major rap stars, whether or not they hit on her when she does their videos, whether or not she's hooked up with some major rap stars, and also what she is up to on OnlyFans, as well as what her fans can expect in 2025 in the mainstream. She is fun. She is intelligent. You guys are going to love this interview. So, without further ado, please enjoy my conversation with Lissa Aires.
This week's conversation.
Lissa Aires, welcome to Sex Party. How are you doing? How did I do on your last name just now?
I think you did pretty good. Lissa Aires. I think you spawned.
Good. Well, you know, I mean, the last thing you want to do is botch someone's last name. And I've done it like once or twice, but I try really hard not to, obviously, because I'm not a fucking dweeb. And I don't want to, I don't want to crush them. I mean, my last name is 5 letters and it's constantly getting, caught in the machinery of people's laziness. So, welcome to the show. How are we feeling?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm feeling great. Blessed.
Yeah. It looks like you are somewhere sunny right now.
Yes, I'm in Miami. Beautiful Miami.
Miami. I feel like I'll be seeing Miami soon for XBiz, so that's exciting.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've never been to this. So.
Oh, are you going this year or no?
Yeah, definitely. Especially because it's hot and it's easy. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely want to talk about like why you chose Miami out of all of the places, because your story is big and it's a bit James Bondy in the way that you're kind of bouncing around, and obviously, you've got the accent and all of the things, and so I think it's very cool. But before we do that, they're in their car listening, they're on YouTube, maybe in the break room at work. Somewhere they're not supposed to be watching. Who knows? In the bathroom or whatever, right? We don't judge. Just make sure you like the video. And no, I'm kidding. But and they're wondering what the hell is he up to this week? What's going on? I hear an English accent. So, could you talk a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Okay. I'm Lissa Aires. I am a content creator and adult performer. I have been doing, I've been a sex worker since I was 18 years old. And I moved to the United States back in 2015. I pretty much did everything in the sex work realm. But now I do OnlyFans, and I just started doing mainstream last year. I got on OnlyFans before COVID. I was on OnlyFans in 2018. And yeah, I'm originally Argentinian. I was born there in Buenos Aires. That's why my last name is Idis, from where I was born. And I left Buenos Aires with my parents and my brother back in 2002 or 2001, I can't remember. And we moved to London, England. And I basically lived there for about 14 years, which is why I have this British accent. And then I moved to New York first, actually. I was in New York for about 3 months. And I was like, I'm not doing this cold weather again. I can't do it. So I was like, I'm taking my talents to Miami. So 9 years later, I'm still here.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I'm taking my talents to Miami. That's awesome. there's I'm already like thinking episode title somewhere in there already, but we'll find it. We always find it. Yeah. So okay. So how long have you been in mainstream porn?
Mainstream literally since last year, August. So I'm
Oh, okay.
brand new. I'm new kid in school. Yeah.
The new the new kid in school. Yeah.
Yes.
So many different ways I could go with that. What school? Yeah, but okay. So and then how long have you been doing OnlyFans?
OnlyFans since 2018. So before it got
Okay.
crazy, before it was
Yeah.
like cool OnlyFans. Yeah.
Yeah, before everybody had one. Yeah.
When I was doing OnlyFans, everybody was like, "Oh my god, you do OnlyFans?" Like it was like frowned upon. Like now
Yeah.
it's everybody's doing it.
So did you start your sex work kind of journey in London, or did you wait till you got to the States?
So I actually started it in London. I was doing like loads of music videos and modeling, and I got approached to do the Babe channels in the UK, which is basically the sex chat lines, but they're actually on national TV. So you can call the girl on the TV and you can sex chat. And I used to do the day shift and the night shift. And the night shift would start at 10 p.m. and we would finish, I think, at 5. And we would be able to take our boobs out at 10 o'clock. And I did that for a few years. But that was kind of like my introduction into the sex work industry. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So could you explain to the audience and to me, I only know a little bit, but like how much different attitudes towards sex, sexuality, and sex work are in London versus here in America? Because
So it's,
it feels like it's more lax, but I could be totally fucking wrong. I'm just a
oh
podcaster.
yeah. I think it's kind of crazy because Europe is so open sexually, but London itself, it's very much closeted. So I feel like the industry is very small, and I think that it's very much closeted. People want to, it's very judged. So people want to do it, but they don't want to know. They don't want you to know that they're doing it. So there's a lot of like sex work, but it's most so the ones that like you can kind of like do it, but act like you don't do it. Like, yeah, like closet. I call them closet hoes because they so they're like, especially like girls who do escorting in London, they like look down at the girls that do like OnlyFans and porn because in their eyes, okay, they portray like they're not doing anything. They're like they're these good girls, but they're doing sex work. So it's very taboo over there. And I also feel like in difference with here. But then again, I think with America is like the big cities are very open, but I wouldn't say the whole of the United States is as open-minded. I think the big cities, like LA, Miami,
Yeah. Yeah. But, LA, Miami, Chicago, Atlanta, New York. That's it. It's like, well, I mean, I don't know. I hear good things about Seattle, but whatever. But if you're able to take your boobs out on TV in London, right? So there are some things like nudity, I think is more pervasive over there. Like it's right. Like that seems like totally at odds with some of the stuff, like the attitude versus what's allowed.
yes,
Yeah, it just seems like really strange because I've always heard that in London, and I spent a very, 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 very small amount of time in London briefly, and was drinking a lot, so I don't really recall so much of my time there. But it did seem like horny, but also I wasn't like talking to people about like what they were doing or whatever. But it just seemed like on TV and in movies and shit, it just seemed like nudity wasn't as big of a deal as it is here.
Yes. I feel like in that sense, you could say it's more open. But my experience as a sex worker, even till this day, I feel like the most people that talk shit about me or that judge me for what I do is my people back home. Like, not even my people, but just people that know who I am. I don't even know them, but they just know what I do and who I am. And
Yeah.
but most of these people do, you know, if the same or different, they're doing their deeds behind closed doors. But yeah, it's it's
A bunch of
so
closet hoes.
a bunch of closet hoes, exactly. But I think that the OnlyFans industry is obviously growing a lot in the UK. Not, I would say maybe not so much London, but there's a lot of girls coming out from like other parts of the UK. Like you got girls like Lily Phillips and Bonnie Blue, who are literally like, they've come in and are just
Fuck it.
killing it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going
Yeah.
crazy. So I think it's becoming more of a norm, I guess, because there's more people doing it, which is great, honestly. But my experience when I was doing sex work, it was very much just, yeah, it's okay to do it, but don't be public about it. Don't. It's cool to do it behind closed doors. Like, don't say you're doing it or show you're
Right.
doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone was always a little bit intimidated by how much I owned what I did and how unashamed I was about what I did. And that was the part that I think people looked at me like, you're crazy. Like,
Well, yeah, I mean, so okay, so over there you were mainly doing like sex chat, like so basically phone sex. Like someone would call a number or whatever, and they'd be like, like, hey, like fucking, you would be like vocal sex basically.
yes. And they also had one that was online, which is, I guess it could be like a webcam service, but it was live on a website. And that one was with sex toys and stuff. I did that one sometimes as well.
Oh,
But
okay.
one on TV was just sex chat and yeah, boobs, and you could like twerk and stuff like that. But that's about it. You couldn't like really touch yourself or anything like that.
So it's on like you could just like put the channel on and like watch it like on regular TV, or is it? Oh
Yes.
shit! Wait, and you're actually taking the calls at like
Yes. What else would it be? Yes.
wow. See, I mean, and you could say whatever you want.
Oh yeah. On the microphone though, you couldn't. So it would be generally it would just be, you could just see the image and there would be like a music playing, but you couldn't actually hear what I was saying. You could maybe read my lips, but you couldn't actually hear the conversation. For you to be able to hear the conversation, you could either call to actually speak to me, or you could just call and be a listener. So you could just listen to the conversations I'm having, but
Yeah.
you couldn't actually hear the audio through the TV.
Wow. I mean, fuck. I mean, imagine that's kind of innovative, obviously. Like if they're gonna, I mean, the viewership on that must have been high, I'm sure, right? Or is? Do they still do that?
They still have a few channels. There's not as many as there was when I was doing it, but they're still going, which is
Yeah.
incredible. Especially being that there's so many new platforms these days. But I think that there's still like a niche of people that still, you know, um, especially the guys that have like landlines at home, which who even has a landline phone anymore? But I'm sure there's still people that do.
Right. Some
So
geezers.
yeah, some geezers.
I know a little bit of the slang, a tiny bit of the slang. Whatever. So did you have fun with that? Did you feel empowered? Was it weird? Was it all three? What was your experience doing it?
I don't think it was weird for me at all. It came very natural to me. I really enjoyed it, and I think I've always been a very sexual person. I think even very young age. So yeah, it just came very natural to me. I didn't feel weird or ashamed or anything or nervous at all. I really, really liked it. I got to meet some great people. We actually had a lot of fun in between sets. We would be drinking, talking to each other. It was just fun. So
Yeah.
it was just like a party in there. And I worked for pretty much all the channels because sometimes, one channel would, stop and then, I would have to go and start looking for work somewhere else. So I've pretty much done the whole rotation.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it fucking sounds fun. Like it did sounds like a party. I mean, was it like just a couple nights a week? Was it mainly weekends? Like, what were the good shifts?
The good shifts were definitely the weekend. Like, I would say like any time between Thursdays and Fridays was really good. Saturdays and Sundays was cool too, but sometimes people go out on those days. So
Right.
the people that was in, cool, but yeah, Thursdays, Fridays was good nights for sure.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And you made a lot of good money or what?
So they were paying about $75 to £78 per hour, which is pretty good for that time for me.
Yeah.
Definitely. And the more shifts you did. And then they also had like bonus systems as well. Like if you did a certain amount of minutes, they would give you bonuses. So yeah, it was really good. It was fun. We definitely got up to a lot of things in the channels. One of the channels I worked for, it was infamous because the owner used to come and pull girls off set and go do his thing with them, whilst we were recording. So sometimes you would just see a girl disappear off the screen and you would be like, what the fuck is going on? But it was just that the owner came in to grab someone off set. So
wow. That's insane. And obviously, like, this was a consensual thing, I'm hoping.
Oh yeah, it was consensual. He had a type. I wasn't his type, unfortunately for me, because I would have probably been taken care of very well if I was. But I've always been very voluptuous, and he liked smaller, petite girls. So
okay.
Blonde, love blonde. So
okay.
I didn't fall in that category.
So he's probably buying all of Lily Phillips and Bonnie Blue's content right now then.
Oh, I'm sure. Yes.
Yeah. As with everyone else right now. Yeah.
Yes.
And shout out to them. They're fucking just going for it. I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you did that. How long did you do that in London for? A couple of years?
So yeah, I want to say like 4 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a little while. I got kicked out. I didn't get kicked out. I got given a choice by my parents. They didn't agree with what I was doing, so they were like, "You either stop or you move out." So I moved in with my boyfriend at the time because I really wanted to continue doing it. But yeah, it was it was all good until my family back in Argentina somehow found out, which is insane because they can't even see it over there. But someone from my church, my family's church, was being nosy.
Screenshot.
I don't even know how they found me because I don't even use my real name. So, but people find a way. When they want to find something, they'll find it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
What were you doing watching me? Is my that's the question.
Yeah.
What was he doing watching me?
Yeah. Well, being of course, and then told on you like a fucking doofus. Yeah. Did you ever have people that you'd meet through the phone stuff or adjacent that you would meet in real life at all, or no? Like, did you have people make you offers, like all that shit?
Not really on TV. No. Yeah. I don't think. For one, I think that wasn't something that they would allow on.
Well, yeah, I just didn't know. I mean, people try to slip that shit in there all the time, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But we definitely, if the conversation came up, we would definitely have to divert them from it just because of the rules with with TV and stuff. But yeah.
Right.
We'd have to smoothly divert them to the next subject.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the owner's in the background yanking chicks with a fucking cane and shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's fascinating. I mean, I could talk about just that aspect of that, like late night kind of horny. I mean, this podcast is sort of, sex party is sort of designed around that sort of after dark sort of vibe. So it's the same kind of fucking kind of thing. And I think I love, those old in here in America is like the old like 1-900 number where you could like call in, like call now, and like when in whatever. I miss that whole culture because it was such a thing. It was such a vibe. It was so fun. And like I remember being a kid and like calling from a payphone and hanging up, because you you would memorize the number or some shit. You never called from your house because it was like fucking $2.99 a minute or whatever the hell that shit that was.
Right.
But yeah, I mean that was the first OnlyFans, really.
No, exactly. That was definitely the first OnlyFans. The first.
Yeah. What? So do you? What would you say? And I'll stall a little bit so you have time to think. But on that piece, and then we'll move on the phone sex stuff. When you're on TV, like, what do you have a crazy story? Like, does something come to mind where it's like, oh my god, this one time, this guy called, and or whatever. Like, what comes to mind when I ask if you have any insane stories? Was there somebody who just stayed on the phone for 4 hours, or covered himself in whipped cream or something?
Oh my gosh, I wish I could remember one. I don't really
Yeah.
like a memorable story from when I was doing the phone calls because it
Mm-hmm.
was so long ago. But if I have a crazy story from those times, I don't think it would be from something on the phone. But I definitely did have an ex waiting for me outside the studio once. But it had nothing to do with the phones. I mean, he was just a crazy ex, and he was very upset to have found me on the TV channels. So
Oh wow!
yeah.
Like you guys had just broke up, or you broke up a while ago?
No, we broke up a while ago, but he was crazy.
So what he did? So how did that go? You can't leave us hanging there.
Luckily, there's all the camera guys, all the the production team. It was all males, so yeah, they didn't let me walk out of there by myself, and they actually went and had a talk with him and just told him, if you don't leave, we're gonna call the police. And he hanged around for a little bit, and then eventually he just left. But yeah, I had to wait a little bit till I left out. But yeah, he was just hanging out there till 5 o'clock in the morning, like a
Oh
little.
my god! Like, in his car or just fucking pacing
No,
around?
he didn't even drive. He took the underground there, which
Oh
is
my god! Yeah,
and
yeah.
he lived very far from where the studio was. So it was,
Wow.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah, that's when you got to just be like, fuck off.
yeah. No. And the thing is, one of the biggest channels, like I think that's one of the ones that's still alive till this day. It's called Babe Station. That was the first one that I started working with, and you could just Google Babe Station Studio on Google, and the address comes up. So it's all very accessible. Everybody knew
Yeah.
what the studio was. It's in central London, in one of the most popular shopping areas. So
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
I've heard, actually, now you say it, I've heard of Babe Station, so it's like
yeah,
legendary. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. I know exactly what that. And so that was the extent of your sex work in London. You didn't start OnlyFans over there?
No, 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 no.
Okay.
OnlyFans did not exist when I was still there.
Okay.
I pretty much just did the babe channels, and then I did some webcamming through adultwork.com, which is a website that's still around till this day. And yeah, that was pretty much as far as it got in London, because in the strip clubs, again, I kind of had the same issue. My body type didn't really go with the look for the strip clubs over there. So it actually, funny enough, one of my friends from London had actually moved to the States 5 years before I did. And she was always calling me and saying, girl, you need to come, you need to move to Miami. You will make so much money.
Yeah.
Come work
Yeah.
at the strip clubs and blah, 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 blah. So eventually I was like, I feel like I've done as much as I could in London, and I felt like I had kind of reached the cap, and I just felt like I wasn't going to grow anymore there. And also I
Yeah.
just didn't really like the mindset at the time of people over there with the industry. So America just seemed way more open. and there just seemed to be way more opportunities. So I said, fuck it.
Yeah.
I packed my bags. I planned to just be here for 3 months just to see how it goes. And 3 months turned into 9 years. And here I am.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, that'll happen, So you jumped to New York first though.
yes, New York first.
So why New York?
So one of my other friends was in New York at the time. So I went to go stay with her first. And she was working at the strip clubs in New York and she told me it was amazing. So I was like, okay. She was actually bartending. And I was like, oh, no, I don't want to bartend. I want to strip. I was fixated on stripping. So I said, I'm stripping. And I didn't know that in New York, the bartenders actually make more money than the strippers. But I quickly found that out when I moved over there. But I didn't know at first. But my first night at the strip club, I made $1,000. I had never made that type of money. In one night, I was flabbergasted. I was like, oh my God, I should have moved here so long ago.
Yeah.
So it was fun. And then, I stayed there for 3 months. It was freezing cold.
Oh yeah.
And then slow season started to come in for the strip clubs. Like about when it starts to get warmer in New York and there's more things to do than the strip club, it just got really slow. So I was like, oh, let me go to Miami. And then I didn't want to go back to the cold. I also thought New York was way more expensive than Miami at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, let me go to Miami.
Yeah. So were these fully nude strip clubs in New York and Miami or just topless?
No, so Miami, yes, fully nude, but New York was just topless and only topless. I don't even think it was topless, actually. I think we had to wear pasties.
I hate that.
Yeah, I don't think we were allowed to actually get topless in New York because it was all the urban clubs. The urban clubs didn't have the license for alcohol and nudity. So they had the license for alcohol, but not alcohol and nudity together. So
yeah, it's such a tricky mess.
Yes.
The fucking license. One of my favorite things on the show is, again, and it's gonna be me asking you for a story. So, like, if you have any wild strip club stories, because the craziest stories that I've heard, I think, on the show, people would think that they would be around porn, but so far, I think they've been around the strip club. So, do you, whether it was New York or Miami, do you have any like insane strip club stories where there's celebrities coming in trying to bang you and throw money everywhere? Was there like a drunken, somebody trying to come in the dressing room? I mean, there's got to be something, right?
Well, funny enough, crazy story, I would say we got booked through the strip club to do some private parties for this baseball player. I don't like name dropping, but he's a baseball player. He is no longer, he's retired, but he was very, very.
Is it Derek Jeter?
No.
All right.
But he had a really crazy contract. He had a lot of money, and he would book girls to go to Texas for the weekend, and we would make insane amounts of money, like money that we probably wouldn't make on, like, you do get good nights at the strip club, but it's not an everyday thing, like when we post, we always post the best nights, but there is slow nights. So, but this guy, we would walk out of those weekends with 20,000-30,000 in ones. So, and then it would be crazy because we would have to like figure out how we would have to like go to the bank because you can't travel with more than 10,000. So it was crazy. It was crazy times, but it was a lot of fun. He would book like 30-40 women to come and just dance for the weekend. And
okay.
Crazy parties. Yes.
So he would bring 30 or 40 women from all over the different strip clubs.
Yes.
And then he'd be like just throwing money at you guys like for the whole weekend.
Yes.
Right.
We would stay at this mansion. We would dance for him and his guest. We would get completely naked. And then he would pick girls that he'd want, for them to hang out with him too. And that would be additional too. He did that as well. And those were wild. Those were wild too, because it would be so many girls and just him, literally. Like, he was very ambitious.
Good for him. Yeah. I mean, we love ambition, and we love, when sex workers are getting the bag and it's all like above board, because
Yeah.
yeah, and no one, I mean, look, it goes both ways, right? Like I think like sex work, yeah, it's just, what's the big fucking deal, right? But then on the flip side, it's like sometimes you have sex workers, whether it's someone on OnlyFans or whatever, that they're like, oh, I'll give you this if you pay this, and then you pay that, and it's like, just kidding, and like it works both ways, So I think a mutual, I'm comfortable with paying this, you want this, this is what we're, and it's negotiated and it's a thing. There's nothing better
Yes.
than that, I think, and I think like everybody in the fucking, at least in this country, would be a lot more relaxed if we just like let it roll a little bit. But 30, 40 girls, and throwing thousands of dollars around, it sounds like hundreds of thousands of dollars around on the weekends. That's awesome. That's incredible.
It was a headache when we would finish dancing and then we would have to count the money. Oh, that would take hours. We would be all sprawled out on the floor with money machines. Like, first we have to straighten the ones because they have to get through the machine,
Yeah.
So we would separate into groups. There was the girls that were straightening the ones, and then the girls that were putting it through the machine and banding them up. So it was you just see a whole 30 naked girls on the floor, just
Sunday night.
round in ones, just counting. Those were good times, though. Good times.
Yeah.
Some cool stories to tell my grandchildren.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think those are the best stories. Those are the exciting ones, yeah, and the celebrities love strippers. Celebrities love dancers. It's like, it's just like fun, and I don't know. If you have the money, I mean, it's kind of like, well, why not, right?
Oh, of course. And I think a lot of the times it wasn't even for when you would see these men come to the strip club and throw a lot of money. Half the time, it wasn't really for the women. It's like to show I'm the man. It's like an ego thing. They would come in there and it's about who is throwing the most money, who is the man. And it was more about that than, throwing it to the actual women. It was just it was an ego match in there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. Yeah. And whose car is fucking parked outside and all this fucking
got
all
the
that.
best stories, got the
Yeah. So are you still dancing, or is something you don't do anymore?
Oh no, thank God, no. That shit was tiring. So tiring.
Oh yeah.
Oh, exhausting. I didn't have a life besides nightlife. I would sleep through the day, and then when I'm waking up, I'm getting ready to go to the club. I was drinking all the time. So I don't miss those days. It was cool while it lasted, but it was tiring. It was very, very tiring. I much prefer being behind the camera than working at the club. 100%.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'll pick that any day over the strip club.
Yeah, people don't know. Well, two things. People don't know how they just assume whatever, because people assume fucking everything. But being a stripper is very athletic. You're not only you climbing the pole, but you're dealing with a lot of people's like mental gymnastics bullshit, and like, oh, this guy's only got $1 and this guy's got 1,000, but he's creepy, and a lot of politics going on in the strip. Then you have the other women. Right, so that's like a combo.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Girls stealing your money. Girls are gonna try you, and you had to show them that you're not to play with, because if they try you and you let them, then you're just gonna get bullied around, and then everywhere, all the other girls are gonna know that you can get bullied around, and
Yeah. You gotta. It's like fucking prison situation. Yeah.
Yes. So that's why a lot of people would work together too. So usually, girls would work in twos or threes, because that would make you up than just being by yourself. So,
Yeah, you need an alliance. You need a stripper alliance. Yeah, because then you're battling all the other alliances and like whatever. It's a whole thing. And the other part of it is nightlife as a whole. Whether you're a club promoter like I was for a very long time, a host, a waiter, a bartender, a stripper, doesn't matter. You're all part of, whether you realize it or not. You're all part of this like vampiric family where it's like you live and work at night. You can't really get through it unless there's alcohol. A lot of times there's like all sorts of other shit and fucking anything you can imagine. And
yeah.
you sleep during the day and you operate at night, and that is your life, right? And it's alcohol fueled and there's fucking coke everywhere and like whatever. That's just like the life. And because it is very high stress and it's very high cash, but it's like that you perfectly just described it, that it is this sort of dead during the day and alive at night kind of a
Oh no,
vibe.
100%. I would take a Xanax when I would come in from the club. I would sleep all day, wake up, and just get ready to go to the club. And it was, repeat every single day was the same thing. And you know, the diet would be terrible. The drinking, it was yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah. There's
bad.
no other way through it. Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, for
Yeah, you
sure.
would strip club food because
Oh,
too late.
yeah.
Strip club food is good.
Yeah, I just could never. I don't know. I remember one time I went and like my buddies had like a plate of like chicken fingers and shrimp, and I'm like, I can't do this. Like I can't eat. Like I'm just not gonna. Just give me another drink, perhaps something else, and like I'll be fine. No food for me, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's awesome, and I think we definitely went inside that world there for a little bit, and so we took that journey. And thanks for obviously like being honest about it and framing up your story nicely, because now we can get into like OnlyFans, the other side of it, OnlyFans, mainstream porn. So what year did you start OnlyFans, and why did you start it? Because you were like, okay, this dancing shit is a lot. I'm fucking exhausted. I'm blowing through Xannies. Like, what was the straw that made you be like, I need to start an OnlyFans?
So actually, before I did OnlyFans, I was on Cam Soda. So my out wasn't OnlyFans. I actually came out of stripping and started doing Cam Soda, and I loved it because it was basically like an online strip club. So I loved it. I was on there every single day, and the money was consistent. I didn't have to leave. I'm kind of an introvert. I am social, but I'm more social with my people. It's hard for me to interact with people I don't know sometimes. So the strip club, that was probably one of the most stressful parts, is just dealing with so many different people, so many different energies. I'm very receptive to different people's energies. So I absorb a lot. So it was draining in that sense too for me, working at the club. So like working on the internet had that protective barrier for me for that. So that's what I loved about it, because I would just, it was nothing in person, nothing in real life. It was just, virtual. So as soon as I turned off, I went offline, I went to sleep, and that was it. I didn't have to deal with any of the nonsense
Drama, yeah. Fuck
the
yeah.
drama. Yeah. So I did that for about, I want to say, comes out of probably about 3 years, 4 years. Yeah.
And you made good money like right away, or you had to work up to it?
No, I made good money right away because I was always very active on social media. I had built up my brand pretty much through the time I was stripping all the way up till Cam Soda. I invested a lot of money in marketing and promo for Instagram and all other social media platforms like Snapchat and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Like
that
you were running ads, or like you were doing sponsored stuff?
I was running ads, and I was paying like a lot of shout out pages to promote me. And by the time I was on Cam Soda, I think I had 1 million followers, which was a lot,
Wow.
especially back then where it wasn't like it is now, where it's way more common. So yeah, I had done a pretty good job at building my brand. So I already had that on the back end. So like kind of transition into Cam Soda was very easy. So I started making money pretty much straight away. So it was
Wow.
great. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then OnlyFans starts. You get like, does someone say something to you? Do you read about it? You seem like somebody who's like very well read, very like in the know about what's next and what's happening now. So did you read something about OnlyFans or like what? How did
So
that happen?
it was actually a girl called Dominique Jane. Shout out to her because she was the person that connected me with OnlyFans. And she contacted me and said, "Listen, there's this platform. I think you would do great. You're already basically doing what you would be doing essentially on OnlyFans too, only that you wouldn't have to be live all the time. It would just be you selling content and you chat with your fans and stuff." So I started doing it. And again, because I already had a brand and a name, it was very easy for me to sign up and straight away start making money. So what did I do? I started telling all my friends, and then my friends got onto it, and everybody started making money. And then I want to say this because I don't know, like I'm gonna take the credit for it
Good.
with my group of friends. We started doing like the big content houses and content parties back in 2018 and 19. The first thing that we did was we rented out like the whole floor in the Versace mansion, and it was like 6, 7 of us with our manager and then a photographer, and we were like shooting content there. And this was before, everybody started jumping on the OnlyFans trend and doing the content houses and all this stuff. And that's how we just basically started doing it. We started, recruiting more girls, and everybody's making money.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So like what kinds of, so you were doing like solo masturbation stuff like straight away on OnlyFans because you had been doing that on
Yes,
Cam Soda.
yes, I was doing it on Cam Soda, so I was doing it on OnlyFans too. And then eventually I started doing girl stuff as well.
Okay.
And I want to say maybe about a year or two in, I started doing boy girl as well.
Okay.
Um, but I did end up working with a lot of the mainstream stars, but I was only shooting for my OnlyFans, and I would actually book them as models, and as opposed to like collaborations back then, because
Sure.
a lot of them wasn't doing OnlyFans yet then. So I would just pay them and have them recorded with me, and yeah. And then
Was
I would,
that for like the women or for the men or both?
for the
Oh,
men,
okay.
yeah, I was booking a lot of the male talent back then. Yeah.
Okay. So it would be like you and like girls you knew like hooking up and like, getting crazy with each other, having sex with each other, all those things. And then you made the decision like, oh, I kind of want to, were like, okay, I could probably make more money if I
Yes.
bang some dudes. So then you actually reached out to like male talent in the industry and were like, hey, I'll pay your rate if we just do these
Yes.
scenes. See, I
Funny.
love that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I wanted to own the content just myself. So I just, yeah, that was the only way to do it. And
Yeah.
yeah, that way I don't have to share the rights of the content with the model. It would just be for me, and I would make all the profit off of it. And funny enough, the agency that I was booking the male models through is actually my agent now for my mainstream scenes, which is, yes. It's
That's fucking great. Yeah.
like,
Well, they're like, God damn, she keeps coming and booking these dudes. We should just sign her up. Yeah. Was that the first time you had sex on camera, like for work, or had you been? Were there like boyfriends or anything you hooked up with on Camp Soda or no?
no. So I did like personal sex tapes and stuff like that, but
Sure.
never that I sold. So yeah, that was essentially my first time doing sex tapes. Before I started selling the sex tapes with these performers, I was selling like some of my own personal sex tapes, but they would be like no face, and
Mm.
it's just very much homegrown, raw, no lights, no nothing. But I started selling those, and when I saw how well those were doing, I was like, oh yeah, I might want to, make the step and start doing some boy girl content. So
So you were selling those on OnlyFans, but they were just like
Yeah.
let cut. Okay. And they were doing well. So that's yeah. Once you see, that's the thing about OnlyFans creators, I think, is once they see that, they're like, oh my God, I can 10x what I'm bringing in right now
Yes.
if I have sex with people. And then it's like, oh, if I have sex with different people, then your money goes up again, and it becomes this thing. And then what's great about the way you did it, I think, is you're booking professional talent, so they're tested and like all those everything, and they're professionals. You're gonna have a good time, and also it's gonna look a certain way or whatever. Do you remember the first professional male talent that you booked to have sex with you?
Yes, Oliver Flynn, actually.
Okay.
He was
Okay.
the
Okay.
first performer I booked. Yeah.
Were you nervous?
Yes, I was. I actually got really high. And I drank like a whole bottle of red wine. So there's parts of that day that that are kind of like blurry, but the video looked great. I had my videographer there; he was there, but I had to calm my nerves. I had never like had sex with, well, I had sex, but never with like a third person there with a camera. And yeah, so it was very nerve-wracking the first time.
Yeah.
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 But it came out great. So.
Okay, and so that first scene, because you're nervous, did you have it plotted out like this is what I'm thinking, or was it we're just gonna go and see what happens?
I didn't really have like a huge storyline for the scene. It was just
Right.
we're just gonna have sex. Obviously now, after learning along the way, and now I
Yeah.
definitely have like storylines and a little bit of a script and costumes. But back then it was just, oh, let's just make a sex tape.
Right.
It was, I was way more amateur back then than I am now. But yeah, it did well. And then I was still kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out, because I didn't want to show my face too much in the videos. So everyone knew it was me, because I'm selling it through my page, but I didn't want my face shown too much. It wasn't until, I want to say, yes, basically not last year, but so then I got in a relationship, and then I was just doing content with my partner for about 5 years. And then that's when I started showing my face and not caring. But when I was booking the models, I was still kind of like, I wasn't too comfortable showing my face yet. So I got in the relationship, and I was just shooting just with him. And then that's when I started showing my face. And yeah. And then last year, that's when I decided that I wanted to, fulfill my career as a mainstream porn star, and also start back working with other male performers.
Yeah. Well, like that first scene with Oliver, right? Like you're nervous, you've been drinking, and you try to calm the nerves or whatever. Like, do you discuss like, hey, when you come, I want you to come like on my back or on my face, or like, do you remember what it was?
Oh yeah, he came on my butt.
Oh, okay. So you like sort of kind of decided where that, because that's an important thing, right? Like people don't, I mean, and sometimes it's like in the moment, sure, but I feel like if you're shooting something for the first time and you're nervous, I always feel like that is something that people talk about.
Oh no, yeah. We
Yeah.
definitely discussed like do's and don'ts, and kind of like what I was comfortable and what I wasn't comfortable with. I mean, I did explain to him that I didn't really want to show my face, and also that I would usually wear like a mask or something.
Oh, okay.
Or my scenes would be more so certain positions where my face wasn't really in the shot. So yeah, that conversation definitely.
Yeah. And then when you got more comfortable and you were like with your partner, were you, and you were showing your face, were you doing facials then, or did you?
Oh yes, I was doing everything then. I was doing facials, cream pies, everything.
Okay. Yeah. So, and then obviously you probably saw that the amount people were spending went up when you started doing these things.
Yes, no, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, just before I met my boyfriend, I had started slowly showing my face, and it was actually a male performer that had this conversation with me. I did a threesome with my friend Uptown Jenny and Nat Turner. Shout out to Nat Turner. I always looked up to him before I even worked with him. And it was him that said to me, he was like, why are you not showing your face? He was like, what are you doing? He was like, if you're gonna do this the whole way, or just don't do it. And I was like, you know what? He's right. Like, what am I doing? Everybody knows me anyway. So he was actually the first scene that I did and just fully show my face. And then after that, I had pretty much like a free, not three, I don't remember exactly, but probably about a 4 to 6 month run where I was shooting a lot of scenes, and I was showing my face and everything, and I didn't care anymore. I was like, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to go the whole way.
Yeah, because it does come to that usually where it's like you're either in or out. You know, it's like that famous line in any heist movie. It's like, okay, we're either doing this or we're not doing this. And I think you actually highlight an issue that comes up all the time on the show. And I was going to save it till the end, but I'll ask you now on that same notion of you're either in or you're out. What advice would you give to someone who maybe hasn't started OnlyFans or adult and they want to, but maybe they're scared or they don't know, like, you know, because you did just say you sort of not had to decide, but you decided I'm all
Yes.
in, right? So like what advice would you give to someone who wants to do what you're doing?
I would say make sure that what you're doing for yourself, and you're not letting any outside voice decide for you or make you feel shame about what you want to do, because that's certainly something that I struggled with for many, many years. And I think that's probably the reason why I wasn't showing my face at the time. It wasn't because I was uncomfortable or ashamed about doing it. It was the other voices that was in my head telling me, oh, no, you can't do this. You know, so I had one foot in, one foot out. And I would just tell that person, if you really want to do porn or adult content for OnlyFans, and that's what you really want to do for you, go ahead and do it. It's a business at the end of the day. It's a job. And I feel like if more people saw it as that, then there wouldn't be such a prejudice. Um, yeah, you know,
Yeah.
it's a professional, it's a profession just like any other. And it doesn't define you as a person, it's the job. And yeah, as long as you're being safe and
Yeah.
you're happy doing what you're doing, nothing else matters.
Yeah, I mean, that's fucking incredible advice, and I appreciate that a lot. Would you say that your enjoyment of sex personally is a lot more because it is what you do for work, and you're able to learn and work with people that know how to fuck and do all the things? I would imagine that it makes your actual, whether it's on camera or off, I would imagine, and maybe I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, who gives a shit, right? But that it would make your enjoyment of the act of sex better.
Oh no, definitely. I think it's been a journey of discovery for myself, also learning what I like and what I don't like and what I'm comfortable with. And also it makes you appreciate intimacy, because when we're performing, you're really focused on performing and getting the scene and getting the shots. And so when you do have like real intimate sex outside of work, you appreciate it so much more, because when sex is your job, it's very much, it's two very different things. And that's what sometimes people that aren't in the industry don't understand. It's like, I've learned to separate, work sex from my own personal intimate sex. It's very different for me. It's not to say that I don't enjoy performance sex, because there's a lot of times, most of the time we're enjoying ourselves. Sometimes, depending on the scene, it can be a little harder, and you are really focused on the performance aspect. Especially with mainstream, you have a script and you have to deliver exactly what you're being asked to do. You're being paid to do this. So
Yeah.
it definitely makes me appreciate, the times when I am having, intimate sex, as opposed to work. So, but yeah, as far as like, getting to know my sexual self more through this industry,
Yeah.
definitely. And I love it so much because it's so broad, and
Yeah.
you learn a lot about yourself through this industry, definitely.
Well, I mean, and just from me interviewing you, just not even for an hour yet, right? Like I can tell that you enjoy it. I can tell that you're intelligent and you know like what you like, what you don't like, without even having to ask those questions, which makes the questions I ask, in my opinion, even better, a little deeper, because you are someone who seems incredibly confident in what they're doing, and also incredibly versed and knowledgeable in what they're doing. And I think that comes across usually, in my opinion, with people who enjoy what they do. They are professional, but they're learning from the profession to take it into their personal life. Like, oh, I like this, I don't like that, I want to try this, blah, 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 blah. How crazy, you 2018, I think you said you started OnlyFans. So that's like fucking 7 years if my math is correct, and usually it's not, but that seems like it's correct, right? On
Yes.
OnlyFans. I mean, how crazy is I had to cheat my way through college math, so whatever. But how crazy has it gotten on OnlyFans? Like, are you doing like double blowjobs or DPs or gangbangs or anything like that at all, or no?
No, honestly, when you put it in that perspective, I'm pretty vanilla still so far. I mean, I did my first orgy just a week ago in Colombia, and it was me and another girl and about 8 guys. So that was like my first scene being in a group. So I don't know, is that an orgy or a gangbang? I think it's an orgy because it's 2 people, 2 women.
Yeah,
So I'm not too
I
sure.
think so. Yeah, I think it's an orgy, but
Yeah. And
you
then
could make a case for a gangbang.
yeah. And then it was 2 one guy and 8 girls. So I did some pretty cool stuff while I was in Colombia.
Yeah.
I did some anal. So this is all for my OnlyFans, and I kind of have this rule with myself that anything that's kind of a first, I want to do for myself first for OnlyFans, and then once I do it for OnlyFans and I made some money off of it just for myself, then I'm more than happy to do it for mainstream. But I definitely want to have my firsts to myself.
See, this is what I mean. That is incredibly intuitive and smart and intimate, what you just said, because I mean, if you don't, then somebody else sort of gets first crack at it, and
Yeah,
it's not yours. And this way it's yours, you do it, you like it, whatever, then you can kind of, then you have experience in doing it, and you can, go work with mainstream and whatever. That's a fucking great rule. I have these wonderful notes that I've been pulling from the amazing Erica Icon. She's the best. And in the notes, it says a couple things that I wanted to touch on. Number one, it says you have tantalizing mouth skills. Is this like, do you have a certain way that you give a blowjob or do oral or something, or is this just Erica writing beautifully as she always does?
well, one of the kind of what I'm very much known for is my big lips. So that's always been something that stands out for people. And when people think of me, they think of my big butt and they think about my big lips. So it's kind of my staple piece. But as far as blowjobs, I very much like to learn the man whose dick I'm sucking. Even if it's on the day that I'm learning, I'm going to like try things and figure out what it is just by just watching your body language, figure out what it is that you like. Because I feel like every man likes their head differently. Obviously, I have things that I'm good at, but I feel like every man has their own ticks. Some
Yeah.
men. Many different ways that you can give head, and I think for you to get a man to come from head as quick as you want him to, you got to figure out those ticks. And
Yeah. Like everybody has their own algorithm that you need to hack, right?
Yes.
So does that go for when you're going down on women too, when you collab with women, like or is that more of like just a free for all kind of a situation?
I think it's a general rule. I feel like even with women, it depends. You kind of have to know that. That's why I love, for me, apart from like just the actual act of sex, I love talking about sex with partners or even people that you're performing with, and just getting to know what that person likes. Because again, sex is so broad and our bodies are so different. Like I'm a clitoral, I'm stimulated mostly by clitoral. So like, yes, I do appreciate penetration, but I can come just alone from, clitoral stimulation. So you can't just penetrate me and think that I'm just going to come like that. But as some men think that it is that simple.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it's some men. I think it's a lot of men.
a lot of men, exactly, a lot of men. So
yeah.
so I think it's I think communicating about sex with
Oh God.
communicating about sex with partners or even people that you're gonna be performing with is just as important as the actual act of sex.
Sure.
I think communicating part is fun, and it's also just it's nice to know what that person likes, so you can actually give them that.
Yeah, I think a lot of normal people, non-perform civilians, we call them, right? Like I think they that's the part they have the hardest with, right? Because for people who are comfortable with sex, or a sex worker or sex worker adjacent, people like you and I that are just, this is the world that we are sort of are around, and for you, you're in it. It's easy to talk about those things, right? But I think the one thing I've learned during the show for this many years is that nobody does what you just said to do, which is the best advice ever, is just to fucking talk about it and fucking go right. How do you like your dick sucked? How do you like your fucking pussy eaten? Like, you have to fucking ask somebody that shit. Like, you're not gonna like it's like,
if you're wondering why you might not be enjoying the sex you're having, it's probably because you're not communicating what you like.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, yeah, you can't take somebody to a fucking restaurant and like just order off the menu for them without asking them what they want. It's the same principle, right? Like,
Yes.
and eating is right up there, if not, just below like having sex. So why wouldn't you ask about something that's equally important? It's so stigmatized and weird.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think it's just as important to tell the person, but also to ask, because I think sometimes people just assume, oh, yeah, that is one way for all. And I've experienced that a lot with men, that they just think that the same thing that they do with every girl is going to work with every girl, especially sexually. And it's like, no.
Yeah. No.
I had a lot of I had a lot of sex where in my early years where I was not coming. Like I didn't even know what an orgasm was for the first few years of me having sex. And especially because I didn't really know how to communicate, and also because the men was not asking, they were just assuming that, and it was very selfish. It was more so like, I'm coming and you came, great. I don't even know because I didn't ask, She looked like she was enjoying it, but I was faking it. So
Oh God, yeah, and you don't want to do that shit. That's
no.
the other. Yeah. No, you got to people just talk to each other. God damn it. Okay, so you've been in the mainstream industry for less than a year, but again, according to these amazing notes, you've worked with Brazzers, you worked with Reality Kings. I mean, those are no small companies, those are no small feats. What is it like to work with these fucking legendary companies? Were you nervous to do your big first, mainstream scene for those? Did they make you feel comfortable? Tell me the stories.
They made me feel super, super comfortable. I've only worked with the Miami crews so far, but I have to say they're amazing. I love the team that they have here. They are super welcoming. Yeah, they made me feel very, very comfortable. And I was very excited, honestly, more than nerves. It wasn't like nerves, like I'm scared nerves. It was like excited nerves. And I love everything about it. I love the scripts, the costumes. I love, you feel like a superstar on these sets. Getting your makeup and your hair done and getting all ready and the acting aspect. I've always enjoyed acting. So, yeah, I loved it. I actually wish I had started doing mainstream sooner, but it's okay. I'm doing it now. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it's been great. My first scene was really wild. It was a top ad scene. So I was on set for, I want to say, like 11 to 13 hours. And obviously we had the script a couple of days beforehand. And the storyline was that my husband and I, it was Super Bowl Sunday. And, I was horny and I wanted him to pay me attention, and he didn't want to pay me no mind. He wanted to watch the game. So, I'm trying to have sex with him. He keeps just ignoring me. His friend comes over and I'm like, okay, well, your friend seems more interested in me than you do. So I'm going to pursue him. So Brazzers is very over the top. So
Yeah.
the, fucking right in front of him on the sofa opposite, but he's so into the game, he's not even realizing that his best friend is fucking his wife right there. But one of my favorite parts was I go get the chips and the dip to bring back to them, and I bend over and I have a skirt and I have nothing on underneath. It's legendary.
Yeah, that is such a such a Brazzers.
Yes.
Yeah, that is definitely legendary. Can you tease some stuff that you have coming up this year that people might be excited about in mainstream?
So far, all the scenes I've done have been released. I haven't got anything on release so at the moment. I just got back from traveling, so I've just let my agent know that I'm available again to take scenes. But one thing that I can say for my fans that is exciting is that I am, because I've done certain things for my OnlyFans, I am now open for doing them mainstream. So I will be, I'm now open to doing, two guys, some anal. So there will be some of those scenes coming up soon in mainstream. So that's going to be exciting for them.
So a potential DP for mainstream.
Yes. Maybe we'll start with just normal anal and then we'll...
Yeah. Well... yeah, you got to work your way up, but I feel like as soon as you do anal in mainstream, then they're like, "Oh, when's the DP?" And then when you do DP, they're like, "Oh, when's the gangbang?" Like that's.
I don't know if I'll ever do I don't know if I could do a gangbang. I've even done that in my personal life, so it would very much be a first for me.
Yeah,
we'll have to see, but
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, those aren't things to be taken lightly. You know what I mean? That's some craziness. And I think you're someone who seems like they know pretty quickly like what they want to do or what they want to push into or maybe wait or whatever. And I think that's sort of the lesson of this episode is to know yourself and trust yourself, but still push the boundaries a little bit because it's you had to kind of break out of your comfort zone, which I think is a great example for anything. I do want to ask here at the end. It says we might have seen you in rap videos. French Montana, Tory Lanez, Gucci Mane, right? We love Gucci Mane. I mean, we love all those guys, but we love Gucci Mane for sure. Yeah. And you don't have to name names, and I'm sure you've done more videos, but like, are the rap dudes, are the musicians, are they trying to bang you? Are they trying to hit on you? Like, you don't have to say who, right? But like, what's the general consensus?
Oh, of course. They all do. They all do.
Are they like super blatant about it? Like in between takes and shit? They're like, what's up, girl?
I mean, usually they will talk to you while, the video is happening, but like nothing's going to really happen during the actual video, but usually there's exchange of information and yeah, let's hang out tonight or whatever the case may be. But yeah, there's definitely they all try, and if they're not doing it in music videos, they're sliding in your DMs. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. They all,
So have any succeeded?
yes, in the past, yeah.
Yes. Yes. Lissa Aires, thank you so much for being on the show. What a way to end it. We love that. We love your honesty. We love your vibe. I think you're fascinating. I think that I'd love to have you back. But until then, let's tell these party going people who are just ready to run over and follow you on social. Where can they follow you on social? But like more important than that, where can they find you on the internet to just like dump like truckloads of cash out on you?
Oh, of course, my OnlyFans, onlyfans.com/Lissa Aires, and it's Lissa with 2 S's, and Idis is spelled AIRES. All one word, no spaces, no nothing. Just yeah.
Okay.
And then my Instagram is the same. Instagram.com/Lissa Aires. My X or Twitter account is Lissa Aires and the number 1. And TikTok, I have a few accounts and I can't really remember the names right now.
That's all right.
But I do have TikTok. I'm not as active as I used to be because I get deleted all the time. But I have it.
Yeah. TikTok is, I mean, they just hate on everything, They're worse than Instagram. I don't know. I don't understand.
And if you have any type of curves, whether you're fully clothed or not, you are most likely going to get flagged. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they're letting all these like red pill dudes talk about their dicks and shit, and it's fine. It's so weird. I don't understand.
It's so weird.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
The misogyny is real, y'all. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. It's been awesome. Again, I can't wait to have you back, but we will talk very, very soon.
Thank you.
Huge thank you to my guest, Lissa Aires, for being with me on the show this week. Make sure you go check out everything she is doing on her OnlyFans. Spend some money, have some fun, enjoy yourselves. Make sure you follow her on Instagram and Twitter. She will be back in the future. If you're loving guests like Lissa, and you're also loving the show, you just want to show this show, some love, some appreciation, some desire to never miss an episode. How can you show all of that energy? Well, if you're listening to this on platforms like Apple and Spotify, you could leave a rating, you could leave a review. Those things are lovely and amazing, and I appreciate them so much, but you're wasting your time. What you really want to do is just take 1 or 2 seconds, subscribe to the show. It takes just an instant to click subscribe. I get you as a subscriber. You get a brand new episode of Sex Party every single Wednesday, especially if you're subscribed or you think that you're subscribed on Apple Podcasts. They've been doing this weird thing where they've been unsubscribing people from certain shows for whatever reason. We don't know, but here's what you want to do. Go to Apple Podcasts, go to Sex Party with Dustin Rybka. Upper right-hand corner, you're going to see an icon. If you see a pause button or anything like that, hit that button, drop-down menu will appear, click on resume downloads, resume subscription. Boom, you're resubscribed. If you're watching on YouTube, I love you, I see you, I appreciate you. If you're watching on YouTube, what is the most exciting sexual thing you have done recently? Leave it in the comments. Remember, you're on YouTube, so censorship is a thing. If you're watching on YouTube and you want to make sure that you show some love, but that you never miss a new episode every single Wednesday, what can you do? You could like this video. You could like all the videos. You could leave me a comment, either positive or negative. I will engage with you. We will have a conversation. It will be awesome. But the big one, right, is you want to make sure that you subscribe to the channel so you never miss a new episode of Sex Party every single goddamn Wednesday. As always, I'm available in the DMs on Instagram, and I will see you all right back here next week.
Thanks for listening. The party continues next week. Click subscribe and let's make this a regular thing. Follow the show on Instagram and Twitter at Sex Party FM. Follow Dustin at Dustin Rybka.